Hey everyone, Dan Wickline here, the professional raconteur, and we're going to take a look at Night 2, the second hour of Crisis on Infinite Earths. Now, this episode opened up pretty quickly. Let me stop here real quick and say, gonna be spoilers, just in case you haven't watched the episode last night. I actually didn't get a chance to watch it till this morning, so that's why I'm a little later than I was on the first night. But I got to sit down and watch it and really enjoyed it. So I'm going to go into somewhat in depth, but please, be careful of spoilers going forward. Now we were still reeling from the death in the first episode of Oliver Queen, and I kind of thought, we're not going to be done with Oliver. There's no way we're not going to have Stephen Amell and the rest of the Crisis. That was obvious. But it was kind of a surprise on what happened. But to start with, we learn more about the Paragons. We know that Kara and... Okay, I know we met the Paragon of Hope and the Paragon of something else. We had two of them on the ship, and we're going to get two more. One of them being a Superman who has lost more than any man could handle, or anybody could handle, and the future Bat, or the other ones. So... and Sarah Lance was the other Paragon, so we had two on board with Kara and Sarah. And it turned out we had a third one on board, but we didn't know it yet. Now, we also got to see Lex Luthor return, played by, I'm just blanking on names. But the Lex Luthor from Kara's Earth, and John Cryer, and... we got that, but we also got to see them get a new ship and get a version of the Wave Rider from, I believe it was Earth 74, that included Mick Rory on it, trying to be a writer, and the voice of Leonard Snart as the ship. So I was really hoping we'd get Wentworth Miller back for the crossover, and at least we get his voice, which I think is a nice touch. So... Lex, of course, goes bad immediately, grabs the Book of Destiny, and takes off with it. Yeah, I thought it was destroyed too, but the Monitor brought it back from a place in time. And Lex starts going around killing off Superman, which is bad because one of them is going to be the Paragon of Truth. So Clark from Earth 38, along with Lois and... Iris, for some reason. I'm not sure why Iris is there. But Iris already is thinking that maybe Barry doesn't have to die because Oliver died already, which already changed the timeline. So they're already getting that. But so the three of them head off to find the correct Superman. Kate and Kara head off to find the future Bat, while Mia, Sarah, and Barry enlists the aid of John Constantine to go get Oliver's body and find an existing Lazarus pit to bring him back to life, which at least seems like how they're going to bring him back. Now, there might be a twist coming up. We'll have to see. We got some neat crossovers with the Superman storyline. We got to see one of the original Superboys from the Superboy TV series as on a screen with Bitsy Turlock playing that Lois Lane as well. But then we got to meet, we got to go to Smallville, and I really liked the Smallville cameo. I'm glad it was more than just a few seconds. And I really liked the idea. What they did was they said that Clark had actually given up his powers to become a family man, to marry Lois and have kids. They talked about girls, and when Lex showed up to kill him, besides just punching him in the face, the kryptonite didn't work on him, and he ended up not killing him because he was just being a man, not a god, as Lex put it. But it was really neat to see them, and if any character was going to just walk away from being Superman to give it up to be, it would be the Smallville Clark Kent. So I thought that was a pretty fitting ending for that character. From there, we went to an Earth where the Kingdom Come Superman, where all the people he loved were killed, and that, of course, was played by Brandon Routh, who, as soon as he put the suit on, it was like, oh my God, that is the Kingdom Come Superman. That looked great. And of course, Lex showed up and decided instead of just killing Superman, which is what he was doing on all the other multiverses, he decided to have the two Supermen fight, which was a nice little fight back and forth. And but there was a great line at the end of it after Lois Lane knocked Lex out to the back of the head. Clark looks up and goes, "It's not the first time I had to fight myself," which was a nice reference to Superman 3, which I didn't know there'd be a lot of Superman 3 references in this. It goes to, so they get the Paragon of Truth. Meanwhile, on the Wave Rider, Ray Palmer is building a Paragon detector while Mick is babysitting. And that is some of the best footage in the entire episode, is Mick reading from his romance novel and arguing with the Leonard Snart computer system to taking care of Jonathan. We then get we follow Kate and Kara over to the Earth 99, where we see a future Batman played by Kevin Conroy. And yeah, as soon as he starts talking, it's perfect. And he comes down with the metal exoskeleton, and we see Luke Fox there, and this is a very different Batman. This is a very dark Batman. This is a Batman who killed Superman, and yeah, it's not nice. And but we learn through the whole thing that Kate is actually the Paragon. She is the future Bat. So they do have that. She was the third one already on the ship, but we didn't know. But we find that out because Ray's Paragon detector works. And then, of course, the other storyline, Constantine is able to find a Lazarus pit, and they take Oliver's body there. But it turns out the pit is being protected by Jonah Hex, the unscarred Jonah Hex, who ends up getting into a fight with Mia and Sarah, and Sarah ends up giving him his scar. So that's pretty ironic there. They put Oliver in the pit, and of course, as you do with the pit, he comes back pretty savage. Then Constantine goes to get his soul, and his magic's not working because of all the antimatter stuff going on. So we've got Oliver's body back, and he's alive, but it's not Oliver. Now, I don't know if this ties into some of the rumors we've been hearing about how Oliver might end up being the new Spectre. I don't know if his soul ends up, that's why they can't get him back. I don't know, but I'm really curious now to see where this goes. Oh, and through all of this, Lila ends up hearing things and having a real hard time once she comes in contact with the Book of Destiny, and ends up being summoned by the Anti-Monitor, and we get to meet the Anti-Monitor for the first time at the very end of the episode. So I think the cameos were a lot of fun in this. So that wraps up this episode, but I'm going to go through the cameos were really fun in the episode. It was neat seeing Superman versus Superman. Seeing Brandon Routh standing next to Brandon Routh is kind of intriguing. And it just overall, it was a really fun episode. There was a lot of cool moments. I literally got the chills when I heard Kevin Conroy's voice for the first time. It was a fun episode, and I think they're really hitting it out of the park. And I cannot wait for tonight, because we're going to get a lot more bring in more characters. It's the Flash episode, but also I think Black Lightning is going to come into this one. Now, I know there was an episode of Black Lightning last night, and I didn't get a chance to watch that yet, so I'm going to watch that once I'm done recording this. But it's really looking forward to seeing where this keeps going. They're doing a really good job. So I'm going to go ahead and end this here, and I'll be back with the next video after tonight's episode. Do me a favor, hit the like button if you like this content. I'd appreciate it if you could subscribe and do all those other kind of things to help promote this video. So thank you very much, and have a great day.